Welcome everybody, indeed it is time for another average lap guide. This week it's Watkins Glen short course, an interesting combo for a daily race A. Instead of a group 3 or 4 with BOP turned on, it's a road going version of the GTR with fixed BOP. Sport and medium tires as well instead of the comfort range. I wondered what real world tire these would be equivalent to. A Michelin Pilot Sport 4 perhaps? The Sport Softs, possibly the Cup 2s? That seemed like a misbranding opportunity within the game. These are the things I think about during the week when I'm pretending to be busy with work. One last reminder, this is a road car, so remember to brake earlier than you used to. And that's a nice segue to head to turn 1 and talk about our first braking point. On the left side, before the 400 board, there is this small post with an extra piece of metal here. Maybe a sign is supposed to go there, I'm not sure, but it stands out as there is some yellow paint on it. Brake just after that leaves the screen, and down the third gear, trail braking into this corner and picking up the throttle right at the apex to help balance the car. A lot of curb available on exit. Now into the S's, just before the end of the curb. I've already begun my turn in. I stay in fourth for these corners, lifting to about 50% throttle and rolling back on the throttle as I unwind the steering angle. It's the same story for the left-hander, lift to about 50% and hit fifth gear around the top of the hill. Speeding up down the straight where you'll hit sixth gear. For my braking point prior to the 600 board, you'll see these two blank marker boards on the left. I'm braking just as the first one leaves the screen. Alternatively, there is this gap in the trees up on the right you can use if you prefer that. Many issues in the chicane during a race. Not messing up here can often net you a place or two gained. Down to third gear for the chicane. I try not to dip below 80 miles per hour. That seems to be a nice speed which allows a good, smooth line. Try to straight line this first bit as much as possible. You'll see I have a brief instant where I'm back on full throttle, but begin lifting before you hit this curb on the left. The car's natural rotation will keep a tight line, but you will have to apply power to keep the car stable and exiting in the middle of the track. I played around with different lines through the sweeping right-hand corner. It's the trickiest turn on this layout, and I had the most success entering the corner in the middle of the track. I do brake slightly just before the start of this curb or when this little shed hits the edge of the screen. Although the turn is slightly different on the full course layout, here it also requires balancing the car with partial throttle or brake inputs. The outside of the wall will no doubt see its fair share of thumps during the race. As you pass this marshal post, you can begin rolling into full throttle. There's not much curb on exit here and I use every bit of it. That was about as early as I can get on the throttle and not do a safety lift through that corner. For the penultimate corner, brake just as the start of this strip of tarmac leaves the screen. Again down to third gear, use your throttle to balance the car. You can see I'm applying partial throttle well before the apex, rolling smoothly onto the power through the entire corner. The braking point for the final turn is this first lamp post just past the end of the white roof. You want to be sure to get all the way over to the apex. The camber of the track helps turn the car, but it's still easy to understeer right into the barrier on exit. I make a slight jab of right steering angle for that very reason. Now for the full uninterrupted lap in chase cam. Let me know in the comments below if you find this feature useful, and if so, whether you'd rather I stick with bumper cam. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.